take your time out there, bloody in your face. But keep in mind, it's my heart.
Hey, welcome to the live stream. In this video, we're going to be doing an internal chipset deep dive of the Dji Mini SE. We'll also be discussing the internal components of the Hubsan Zino Mini SE. And third, we'll be covering the replacement parts for the latest and best drones on the market. And lastly, we'll be doing an open mic and shameless promotion. Once again, thanks for watching. Let's get into the video.
All right, guys, here we are. We've been
Hey, how's it going, guys?
So we've been doing pretty well.
Good to see everybody.
Hey, we have a lot of people in the house, Brad.
Yeah. Let me scroll back a little bit. We got Ray Kelly was in first up in there. I haven't seen him back in. He might have stepped away, but we got Matt Cundiff in the house, JSK Enterprise, and I think that's it for the moment. And there might be a few other folks in the background that haven't spoke up yet, but thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you supporting the live stream and the channel.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that I've been really surprised is how many views we're actually getting in the live stream. I think the topics we're picking are something that people are looking for, so I think we're going to continue on. You know, if things are working well, why not, right? Yeah. So how you doing, Robbie, over there in the green screen?
Doing good here. Kick back. Excited about the show.
Nice.
Fred, how are you, sir?
Can't complain, you know, same as always.
You got a new headset with a microphone boom, or no, you take the ear off the.
Yeah, I can't stand silence.
Yeah. So you've been getting some footage about, you were chasing some rafters. You're doing what I like to do. One of my favorite things to do. I know Robbie's joined me many a times with that.
It was, yeah. It's a regular event down through here this time of year.
Yeah. How's your experience been doing that?
Not too bad. I've been there a few times. What's that, bud?
I was going to say, it's not your first rodeo, right?
No. Yeah, I used to swim there when I was a kid. It's a little different seeing it from the air, you know?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. I know both Robbie and Brad, man, you guys are been doing kind of, the river flying a lot. So.
Yeah, I unfortunately haven't been out there in a little while, but I got to get back down there.
No problem there. So shall we jump into the deep dive here? So let's start discussing the internal chipset for the Dji Mini SE. So we all think that the SE stands for Special Edition and should be called COVID Edition, really, in my opinion, right? Because what are they doing to find parts, Fred? You've said it best when we've chatted before.
They're stripping whatever they can, taking it from whatever they can.
Yeah, where do you think they're finding it, man? In the closets or what?
Yeah, old stock, you know.
And you've been hearing that they're actually procuring old drones and taking parts out of them, correct?
They are, yeah. All the ones that they're, get turned back in, they're just stripping them and building new drones.
I wouldn't even be surprised at some of the inventories that are sitting, with some of these places that have sent them back because the inventory's been sitting too long. They might have, relationships with some of these folks that have bought, let's just say they bought 100 of them and to put in a store or spread out amongst their stores. And then if it's been sitting too long, there might be a number of days or months that they say, hey, I'm going to send it back to the manufacturer. And then they might be pulling from that stock as well. Who knows?
Yeah. And Robbie, you're going to be covering I guess the third topic will be the replacement parts on the market. That's always a good topic because, most of us fly quite hard and we run into some issues where we have to replace some parts, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So with that said, Fred, have you had a chance to share that link with me in reference to the DJI FCC release?
Yeah, you should have it.
Okay. I got to check my.
It's in both your chats, in the group chat and your personal one.
Okay. Let me go ahead and double check. And somehow I keep missing it for some reason. Here it is, right here. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to put up a video here from Drone DJ. He was the one that posted all this, and he did a really good job. So I'll go ahead and get that set up here. So while I do that, Fred, you want to go ahead and just kind of talk a little bit of how you found it, what and how you became aware of this information?
I just it just came up in Google. Just I signed on and it was kind of right there through Drone DJ, I think it was.
Yeah.
I must be subscribed to them or something because they're like on my screen every day with something new.
They're listening to you.
Must be, yeah.
Yeah, they got your number, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just actually kind of stumbled into it accidentally, really.
Good. Well, okay. Well, I have got this teed up, so I'll go ahead and share it, and we'll start doing the walkthrough. It might be a little hard for us to see some of this, but let's get to it. Let's see what you guys think. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm gonna go.
While you're doing that, I want to welcome in Mikey, Fly Zone Drones. Ray Kelly's back in the house, and Matt says he's listening, but he's still at the hospital taking care of his daughter. She broke her arm last night, so he's been working with her all day, I'm sure, at the hospital. So good luck to her. Prayers with you and her and the family.
Yeah, and you as well, Brad, because you've been dealing with some family issues today. I know your mother's not doing. Could be doing better, obviously, but
yeah, absolutely. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, Matt. Good luck with that. I know it's a drama-filled day, and I'm sure drama is only going to escalate when she gets home. So stay strong, and God bless. All right, here we are on the left, and this is Drone DJ. So I'll let you lead on this one, Fred, and I'll go ahead and just kind of follow your lead on this. So you guys see the bottom of the drone with the bottom skins off, and I'm going to roll forward and start looking at the pictures here. So what we see there is like heat sink conductive grease that allows these EFCs, most likely EFCs right here, get cooled off. And you can see that this is the dimensions. And here we see the top of the drone. So if you guys were interested and see where the GPS module is on, sorry about that, that's my phone, mute it. If you guys are interested in seeing where the GPS module is, yeah, here it is right here. Right there.
Wow.
You see that pretty well, right?
Yeah,
and you can see this is the EFC board here, and then we have the GPS board here. So you can see all three wires coming in from each one of the motors. And it looks to me like they're using a red, white, and black, not blue, not red, white, and blue, but red, white, and black for the front legs, and they're using all black for the rear legs. And this is the GPS module, and of course this is the top of the camera, and here's the two little eyes that do not have sensors in it. Right?
Question, Al.
Yes, sir.
So it just comes to mind, why would they use all black on the rear ones? Do you have any clue on that one?
No clue. I was thinking kind of like Fred, whatever they had available, or
right.
Probably what happens more likely is, that's how the manufacturer's sending them to them. Right?
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So any Any other things you guys want to discuss here that I missed? Okay. I'll go ahead and move on to the next picture. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this picture here. And you can see here that the heat transfer grease. Anybody know the specific name? Drop it in the chat, guys. And if you guys have anything to put it in the comments, guys. Let us know what's going on here if you see something that we've missed, right? But you can see that on the front we have the interface here for the cables, the ribbon cables. And this looks to be a button. What button would that be, guys? Anybody guess what button that would be?
Might be a
Power
reset button, maybe, or something.
Reset or power on button.
Yeah.
Could be the power button too. Yeah.
I'm thinking of the power button. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because if you can see, here's our sensors and the optical flow camera.
So that would be the bottom.
Yeah, that is definitely the bottom, right? So that puts it about the right place for this puppy. Let me double check.
For what we know on the minis now, right?
Yeah, and I am going to go ahead and just do this. And so if you look at the Mini 2 that I'm holding now, that's what we're seeing there. It's kind of like the same board. You can see that the button's a little offset, right? It's off to the side. So I'll stop, I'll put the share back on.
Yeah, that's got to be the power button.
That's the power button. You guys agree? Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, good. But they cleaned it up a little bit. It looks pretty nice. And here's the two antennas right here. So we know we got two antennas in this model versus the Fumi Mini only has one antenna, correct?
One antenna.
You got it. Do you know what arm the antenna's on, Fred?
I think it's on the front right as you're looking at it.
Okay, good. I don't see anything else jumping at me. Here's the USB port right here, which is that USB-C. Type-C, I should call it correctly. I don't see any other things here that jump out at me. I'm going to move around, and I'm hoping somebody out there could chime in and in the comments, let us know what's going on. All right. I don't see anything else here, you guys, but you can see that it's a little bit over what? No, it's 8 millimeters long, so that's pretty good size, right? All right, let's see what we have next. Okay, so this seems to be, double click this. Any clue what this board is, guys?
Looks like the memory management, or it looks like that's the micro SD slot and maybe the Type-C charging port, transfer port. Yeah.
Looks like the back end of the drone.
Yeah. So this is the DVR right here. Okay. And we're looking at another USB port here, right? And that one, it looks like the other side of the EFC, but it's hard for me to, I don't think it is, but that's what this interface board, and I don't see any other components here because they have this huge heat sinks.
Which you can tell there's a couple of chips under there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at least.
At least, yeah. And we don't know, and we can see that they're hidden under these huge heat sinks, right? So. Right. Yeah, so it's an interesting little setup, right? Quite nice. So should I move on?
Yes, sir.
All right.
You got me on the edge of my seat, Al.
Okay. So let's go ahead and zoom in here. Now he's taking the heat sink off. Yeah, there's the umbrella H22 right here. Yeah, good catch. See the umbrella H22s right here. And we're thinking that we have two other chipsets here that we really need to dig deeper. But there's three big steps here that are really important to this build. So everything really is built around these three chips and then this guy here, which is probably, the sensor chip for the camera and optical flow, because this Umbrella H22 is going to be for the camera sensor. So yeah, that's what it looks like without the heat sinks and all the heat grease.
Got a little bit better visual on the USB port on it as well.
Yeah, you're
There
right.
you go. Yep, that's the side that's kind of stuck. The board's cut out right there for it to fit in there, but it.
I think
more,
it's $299, Ray. I think for a price point.
We got some questions in the chat. Yeah, I mean, what we've seen from the the stickers in the Walmart store, the captures and stuff, it's been $299, right?
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, let's see if we can find it. And I
$299.
wasn't able to zoom in on this here enough. The video, or should I say, the picture quality is not good enough for me to get any details on this to look it up. I think Fred and I tried to do it one day. We were unable to do it. Maybe this one's a little better. No, it's not. Okay, so this is the same board, it looks like, but turned around.
Mm-hmm. It is. It looks like it. It's just got the cover is off now.
So I can't get much more out of it, but it looked like they're using very older components with the Umbrella H22 and the other chips in there. They're definitely going in the back room, back closets, and finding all the parts that they can get to manufacture. That special edition, and here we are. This is the GPS module, which looked very similar to what you would put in an FPV drone. So I'm going to switch real quick, guys, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So on my build that I'm doing now, so what color motor looks better? But the whole point is this. This is the GPS module that I ordered for this drone that I'm going to be installing it. But check out the GPS chip.
Mm-hmm.
It looks so much like it, right?
It looks very similar.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, even to the dot. So I'm going to switch back and share. Yeah. So it looks like a run-of-the-mill GPS module that you're going to be able to pick up. And by the way, this module cost me like $13 plus shipping, because it was ordered through. No, I got it through Amazon, so it was like $13 for Amazon. Pretty good deal. So not very big, right? And it looks just like what I purchased, and they're looking like they. Robbie, do you happen to remember this white kind of like epoxy glue or silicone?
Yeah, they silicone over that so it doesn't touch anything.
Right, so it doesn't short out or interfere.
Exactly. It's supposed to keep moisture away, and also anything touching on the back end. They used to use a lot of the tapes and stuff like that on motherboards on computers, and then they realized over a period of time the adhesive came off and the tape would roll off.
Right.
Work on it, put it back on, it would touch. So it's just a contact point for protection on that.
Yeah. So pretty interesting stuff. There's no doubt about it. So not much more we can say about this module, right? What do we have here? I can't tell what board that is unless I take.
Is that
the IMU maybe, or part of the camera?
Yeah,
I think it's part of the camera.
It's part of the camera. Okay.
I think the ribbon cable hooks right there at the bottom.
So Al, can you go to the previous one just for a moment?
Sure.
Just for a moment. It's the opposite side of that.
Oh, you're
it's absolutely. The opposite side of that one right there.
You're absolutely right.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a ribbon cable connection right here, guys. See it? They're probably sliding the cable through
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
Good catch, Brad. Good stuff. Okay.
That's what you hired me for.
Yeah, man. Paying you the big bucks for that, right? Fred, you and I are going to have to ask for, and Robbie, we're going to have to ask for salary increases. All right. So anybody flies so much like the one I have on my FPV sector. And says Michael from Fly Zone Drones. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, I mean, this is the run of the mill, but again, this is the bottom half of it, and it looks like that he took the heat sink off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, unfortunately, the quality of the camera is not that great.
We're lucky. We're lucky we have this much quality.
Yeah, yeah.
Luckily, we have pictures at all from them. Usually, we don't
Right,
get
right. That's right.
Right. Yeah, and do you think Drone DJ did this himself?
Nah.
This came from the FCC, I believe.
Yeah, this is something they would have had to have submitted to the FCC, so I would think they did it.
I would think so too. All right, so we come to the battery here. And
although I will back that up and say a lot of these pictures are kind of sloppy in the way they are with the stick rules, the measurements. So I don't know. Maybe these might not be ones that went to the FCC. I don't know.
Maybe not.
Well, it's good enough for government work, though, right?
Yeah, true.
So, yeah. All right. So nothing new here. It looks like the same battery as before, right? So there's a Lipo battery here, and it's a anybody see the voltage in here? Yeah. So it's a 7.7 volts. So it's a 2-cell battery, and it's 250 AH. Yep. And I always get those two flipped around. Looks just like it, right? There's nothing new. So they're leveraging everything they have to make this. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go.
Nice.
Okay, so this is the EFC, right? And here's where the battery actually plugs in right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 connectors, right? So let's say you're going to have a ground, and then you're going to have one lead for each battery, so that's 3. And then there's 3 extra leads for probably the communications back and forth.
Hey Al, what are we saying? I might have missed something I was reading, but are there 3 batteries in those? Is it a 3S type of battery setup, or is it a 2?
No, it's a 7.7 volt.
So it's a 2S type setup.
2S, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that being said, then what you just said, that it might be more than one lead going to each cell, and then you've got 2 other ones. So I'm trying to figure this out on the electrical side, and I'm not real good about figuring it out with DC type stuff, but.
Yeah, so we definitely have ground, 1 lead for each cell, so that's 3 leads taken up, and then we have the 3 other leads for communication.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and it's hard to say. I mean, you can't even see the chips here, but you can actually see the solder.
Yeah, the soldering looks horrible.
I was going to say the same thing.
Looks like I did.
Especially on the left-hand side.
So this to me is a mock-up or a test bench one.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look horrible to me. It looks okay. I mean, because
but it doesn't look manufactured. It just looks like it's been hand built, like it's your workstation, Al.
Yeah, and it would be. It definitely would be for sure.
No offense to your work, Al.
The one side got a little hot too.
Yeah, it did.
Like these 2 solder joints here, this one and this one's look the worst to me, but the other ones look okay. But they don't look like this. But it's not bad. So we see the 2 back motors here, and then the 2 front motors here, and then we can see that the EFC chips here. 1, 2, there should be 6 on each side, which are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so there it is. That's it. Anything else that jumps out at you guys here?
Well, if the price is going to be $299 as soon as it comes out, we better buy them quick because Ray
Yeah.
Kelly said he's going to buy 10 of them.
He did, and then he said he's going to resell them for $3.99.
He's going to resell them for $3.99. Good, man. I like that.
Hey, there might be something. There might be something said there, because if they're scrounging for chips and parts to build these things,
Could be a shortage.
it'd be a shortage really quick, because the price point, they're going to sell fast, and I don't know if with the chip shortage and everything in place, they're not going to be able to have 100,000 of these things ready to go right out the box. So I don't know. It might be something to be said to get one of these and right in the beginning to see how much of a shortage or how much of how much people are going to want to buy it.
Hey, Johnny Drone Flyer just joined.
Hey, Johnny, Sergio's in the house as well.
Hey, Sergio, thanks for joining, man. Appreciate it, man. Drone View Media is also here. See any. So there you go, guys. This is the ESC, and you can see that this is sitting on the bottom of the drone. Correct me if I'm wrong, because of the way the arms are sitting. So let me look at mine right now. Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, okay. So pretty tightly built, really efficient use of the space, and you can see how the struts and everything are all. Excuse me, guys, I'm gonna mute. Go ahead, keep chatting.
No, it looks like a good setup there. It just still makes me wonder how these pictures were taken, whether or not this was set up this way purposely or somebody quickly pulled all these parts in and threw some rulers down just to get some snapshots to get them out there, And looking more at that board, maybe that isn't a shoddy soldering job. That's just it's got the
Glue or
the
something.
flux all around each one of those. Maybe in the lower left looks a little shoddy, but from this angle, but not bad, I guess. Other than that, I don't see anything else that jumps out at me.
I would think that soldering would be done on a machine instead of manual.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
So by looking at that solder, it makes me really question that. I wish I could see the other side of that board just to see where the black, red, and white cables go to the arms. And we talked about having the all black on the other one, just to see if the motherboard on it actually went down under the island and back up for the connection. Maybe one of those or two of those wires, they're connected together.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, so here's the other side of the board.
Well, that's not, I don't think that's the same one, is it? Oh, yeah, it is. I do see, I see the wires. Yep, you're right.
Yeah,
so scroll down a little bit, Al.
Yeah, I can only zoom in one level, so I don't have the capabilities because I'm on the web page. So I don't have to actually picture. So you can see that here are the ESC connectors, chips right here. And then here's, gosh, I wish I would had to, you guys ever follow a guy named, go ahead.
Like a controller chip for each one of the motors, right? I mean, that's another chip.
Communication,
for each one.
Yeah. So that's why you have 4 motors and 4 of these, right? So yeah, it's very nice.
Although now that this thing's flipped over, it seems to be missing the other set of wires, right? And there they are. They've disconnected them. Got it.
That's probably why the solder looks crappy. Maybe it's something
that's
hard on the times.
Yeah, it looks like somebody's been taking it apart and putting it back together because they didn't even clean that solder flux off there.
So it leads me back to what I was saying before. This is like a bench mock-up or something, or a testing unit that they're using for pictures.
Yeah, because if it was sold, this thing would be washed clean and it would be sprayed with that stuff. I forget the name of it, Robbie. I think you and I were researching at one time. That's the waterproof spray that they used on the printed circuit boards.
Yeah, but usually when you had that, you're going to see some residue from the flux on it. So you're going to see some gold if it's done with a machine. So I don't know about these pictures.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody's been putting it together and apart a lot. It looks like to me.
Hey,
I
I
don't
just want
know.
to say thank you to Ray Kelly. He said he's going to make a prediction here. This show will be a top-rated show. It's excellent. Thank you, Ray. We appreciate that.
Yeah, you're so kind. Thank you so much. Such a gentleman. Yeah, so here's the other side of the board, and here's the, it looks like that's just so strange because now we see the colors.
Colored.
are
So we've
different.
seen two different pictures then. We've seen two different pieces of, these are probably parts that are laying around on the benches or in some bins. We might not be seeing. And the ones we saw with the three black wires, maybe that's the bench setup one. They didn't use this final production. Who knows?
It's probably
Yeah.
it's probably a few different drones that they just got
Yeah,
on in
that's
different
true.
phases,
Yeah, that's
or
true.
different parts.
Yeah, I'm sorry to give you the visual whiplash,
There you go.
guys, because I was getting back to here because we were discussing how the back motors were different color wires than front motors. Okay.
Yeah, which is very odd still to me, but oh well. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and move to where we were. Sorry about the visual whiplash again. Apologies ahead of time.
I'm gonna need my neck brace.
All right, Fred, question for you. In your dealings with these kind of stuff, I know you like researching this kind of stuff. Does this look pretty normal to you, how these pictures are being given to the FCC, or the FCC's taking them? I'm not sure.
I'm not really sure. I mean, I think the FCC just gets the pictures, right? They submit, or maybe they get a drone and rip it apart themselves. I don't really know.
No, I would think they wouldn't do that work. It would be the
I
third
wouldn't think so
party. I would think it would be third party and
Yeah,
maybe
somebody else is doing it for them, or
Yeah.
DJI is doing it probably. And
yeah. It would be a conflict of interest if they ripped them apart.
these might not be the exact pictures they used either. Just
No, you're right. I agree with that statement right
that
there. I
they
don't
just
think.
leaked out like DJI does, you know.
Yeah. These are just. I'm pretty sure these are leaked photos. They look sloppy in a lot of ways, but I mean they're good. I mean, good thing we've got them.
I think they'd have a schematic. They'd have a schematic first, though, before anything.
Yeah. Yep. The specs and the schematics on it.
Yeah, because that's without that, there's no way to build it, right?
Yeah.
The blueprint.
Well, you already built it once. They're just picking parts off of the old stuff, right?
Right. Al, what you might check on this, I noticed there's a lot of QR codes on there. I'd go through
Yeah.
some of the QR codes and scan them and see if it's pulling up like an older model or something, just to see what's there. I tried scanning the one in the battery and nothing came up. So you might check with one of the batteries that you're running now and scan the QR code on that. There's one on the first board of the first image that you showed us, also the long one that's got the USB plug on it.
I tried scanning the battery one as well. I couldn't get anything out of it.
No, I didn't do anything. I'd be curious if you scanned, one that you've got now just for the Mini 2 and see if it's got, or if it has the same number on it. Because I couldn't find a search on there. But the first board in the picture that you have in there of all the boards, it looks like there's a QR code over by the Type-C connector.
Yeah, right in the corner. I saw that. Yeah, I wish I had better quality pictures. We might be able to find them on the net. I think that would be one of those things that 10 o'clock at night, I want to go to sleep, and I'll go ahead and figure that out. And by the time I figure it out, I'm snoozing.
Right.
It's definitely not the most appealing, interesting things, right? Oh wow.
Oh, here we go.
So
More cool stuff.
They almost look like they're pre-wired. Maybe that's why the wires are black.
yeah,
They
that's
come
what
like
I'm saying. Yeah, because that's how the motors come, right? Because let me pull out a motor that I just got. I just got these green motors. I know I showed them to Brad. You came over that one day, and I was showing you the motor. So, so I just cracked the seal on this, and here's a motor that I just received. So when you get your motors, dang, they were supposed to have been all green. Now I got a purple one.
Oh, you got a mix. Would you get 3 green and 1 purple?
Yeah, see, I wanted green to match my road.
Yeah, I like the green. Do you have 2? You only have 1 purple and 3 green?
Hey, any of y'all that have flown with Al, he flies so quick, you're not going to see anything anyway.
That's true. That's true.
Oh man. So yeah, the point is that this is how you get your motors.
Right. They're already pre-wired. Right.
Right. So, and daggone it, stupid.
They're not used. I don't think they're user serviceable. Right. It'd be hard to get up in there to put wires on it.
Yeah, I know. Right. So, gosh, we got a lot of people in the house. Thanks for joining, man.
Yeah,
Leonard Oglesby is here. Leonard, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining. How's the West Coast, man? So,
hey, Al, I'm just going to call out. We're at 7:38. I don't know how much time you want to be in here. So we got two more topics to talk about.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to make the two more. Okay, so here's the antennas, right? I wanted to make sure. We're learning as we go along on this, and I'm sorry for the learning curve hasn't been that flat, I don't think. So here we are, guys. This is with the antennas on it. So this looks to be the flight controller with everything else on it. The flight controller and the VTX, which is video transmitter, and also the camera. And antenna. So all in one flight controller here, has everything in it, and it's got all the optical sensors. And
yeah, and that's the same board we saw back in the beginning of boards when you were showing them. Yep.
Yeah, without the heat sinks, you can see all the blue goo on there.
Right.
But this is one of the reasons why DJI is so good at flying and not losing a signal. They're running 2 antennas on these little minis. Versus, I'm not sure what Zino Mini Pro is going to have or the Zino Mini SE is going to have. Any thoughts on that, Fred?
I mean, not to put 2 in there is just freaking cheap in my mind. I can't believe Fimi would just put 1 antenna in this mini, but that's all it's got. I think it's in this one right here. I believe this arm right here, front right.
Yeah, it looks right. Yeah, I thought it was the front and left for the 2020. But
I mean, these arms both look the same. I mean, if you look, there's a groove. It looks like there's an antenna in both, but there's not. It's just in this one right here.
Yeah, and if you look where your left thumb is there, Fred, look through there, and there's like a Mylar anti-chasing shield. And you should see 3 wires going out and a plus one, but don't tear it apart if you see it.
Oh, yeah, I don't see it.
Because that joint closes.
Oh, where the joint is, yeah. I can't see any wires. It's all black casing in there.
That sticker on it, man, looks good.
Oh, yeah. You mean right in here, right?
Yeah. So
I do see like in this one arm there is a little bit of red. You probably can't see it, but
yeah, you would have to.
I do see a little bit of a wire exposed, but the rest are actually pretty covered, surprisingly.
Yeah, I see that.
I sent one of these down to Matt, but with the hurricane, it got freaking stuck in Brandon, Florida. So hopefully he gets it in a couple days.
Oh yeah, he'd been talking about that. Said he'd been waiting on it.
Yeah, it got wherever it was, the place got flooded, so everything's like at a standstill there.
Hey, we got Bill Thomas in the house. Thanks for joining.
He could have went and picked it up, but it's like 3 hours away.
Yeah.
And right now, he's got more things to worry about.
Yeah.
So there it is. There's the antennas, and we're just. Have you heard anything, Fred, about the Zino Mini or Pro or the SE if it has 1 or 2 antennas? Anybody? If anybody knows, leave us a comment. Let us know. We'd love to hear, and I'm sure everybody else would love to hear about that too.
I haven't seen any breakdowns of that anywhere on the web so far. I mean, it might be out there, but I haven't really done any research myself.
Okay, so we're going to dovetail right into the Zino Mini now. I think that's a topic we need to cover. It's on the agenda, and we're probably just going to push your topic back a little bit, Robbie, if that's okay with you. We're running a little short on time. One of the things that Hubsan has done they've actually gotten ahead of the curve on DJI on the mini stuff. You guys agree?
If it does what it says it's going to do.
Yeah, if it does. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but the
I
specs.
mean, they got them on flight time. I mean, it did hover for 40 minutes, but
Yeah.
And hovering is not easy on a drone either, by the way. It probably eats up more.
Yeah, it does eat up more
Probably
because
does.
they're usually best when they're at a certain angle, right? They
Right.
say at a certain speed, certain angle, they get their best performance.
Yeah, yeah. So they got them on the power. They got them on the sensors, right? Because one of the biggest problems they've been having, DJI's been having, is trying to get the sensors in there is not the weight, but it's trying to get rid of the heat. Because the sensors run so hot that the sensor supporting chips run hot and they can't get rid of the heat, so things shut down. So they figured that out. So, that's really good for the market for us to have that, right? I really like the fact that they were kind of, pushing DJI a little bit on that, What's your guys' thoughts? Brad?
Competition's a good thing.
Oh yeah, I've always said that competition is definitely good.
if they can get it out, and it actually does 3/4 of what it says, then I'd be happy.
Yeah, I mean,
we know it's not all going to work. I mean, it's Hubsan.
okay.
I mean, we got to be realistic.
Okay.
Don't get out going.
Hey man, if it wasn't for the Zino, my channel, I think it would still be, having issues. But because the Zino actually was a really good product for a lot of people,
I mean, it was my first drone too,
You too, right? I mean,
to be honest.
yeah. And what did you think of his flight characteristics? Do you think the Zino Mini is going to be better than the original Zino? Obviously, yes. But what do you think? The characteristics.
I mean, hopefully it flies good. I mean, it should. I guess
it's
it'll fly. We'll just have to wait and see, really, on any of that.
Yeah, yet to be seen would be what I would say.
Yeah.
It looks like it wants to fly.
It looks like he can get on down.
The new SE too looks like it's got 2 sensors in the rear, but I can't find anything listed in any of the. So it might just be the same plastic or something that they're using, and just not putting anything in the holes. You know what I mean? Kind of like they did with the Mini 2.
Have you found any FCC listings yet for the FC from Zino?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen any. I mean, I did pre-order the SE, but it didn't. I mean, obviously it hasn't shipped yet, so I doubt it'll ever ship. I bought it from Banggood, so you know how that works. It'll sit till the protection runs out, and you'll get a refund. They'll use your money for a few months.
Yeah, unfortunately, we kind of underwrite their.
I just wanted to see if it would actually ship. You know what I mean?
So you put.
They have them on there for $349 or $369 or something like that, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So impressive on paper, right? It
looks like it's the same specs as the Pro Plus, I think. I mean, it's the same exact price too.
Oh yeah.
And that's funny. That's all that they have in stock is the Zino Mini SE and the Pro Plus. So that's probably all they have chips for to make right now.
Right. And I'm thinking they're sharing the same architecture. What's your thought?
I mean, they're both 6K, same exact specs on right across the board. It's just one smaller than the other.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Is just, they got smaller GPS modules. They got smaller flight controller. All in one flight controller and smaller camera. But let's talk about the camera, man. And what about that camera? It looks like they got DJI on their back foot on this one. They're asking questions of DJI right now, no doubt. Your thoughts on that? Anybody?
Trying to remember what the specs were calling for.
Well, it's supposed to be a little bit smaller or bigger than a 1-inch sensor. I can't
It's a
remember.
little bit shy.
1.13.
Yeah, it's just a little bit shy of an inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little shy of an inch, right? 0.3 smaller. And so, yeah. And it's supposed to have optical zoom. Am I reading that correctly in the specs? Maybe
I'm trying to pull them up now.
I would think that would be a 1080, right? And I'm not sure. Yeah, I was looking for the specs as well. I can't find them currently.
It does have 1080p, 30 frames per second video transmission, though.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That is so wonderful.
I don't know why Femi couldn't do that, but
I know. We all do not like how they do
the
that.
SE has a half 0.6 inch CMOS sensor, so it's 4K 12 megapixels.
Okay, so that's a big difference there. The camera is half the size.
So it's got optical flow night light, AT-VT 3.0 AI tracking mode. That's really about it for features. Looks like It's got the sync lease 2.0. So it's got the older sync lease in it, or not the updated one anyway, that we suspect's in the new one.
Yeah.
In the Pro.
And so the Pro is supposed to go, 10 kilometers. So that's the So that is exactly what it is. The Zino Pro components in the Mini.
I can't remember. Is Hubsan's they're hard set, aren't they? The 6 kilometers, or are they? I remember at one time it was a hard set.
Yeah, that was the original Zino 1K, right? But I don't know what it is on the Pro.
You would get out there and it would just stop there.
I know. I was like one of those guys that are insane. I kept trying to beat 1 kilometer. I just kept running up against the wall.
You could cheat it once in a while if you walked like 10, 15 feet forward. The drone would catch up in time and you could get like 1,200 out of it.
Nice.
Robbie, you remember that day we were flying from Hollywood Cemetery and I was doing those flights going back and forth, and you're like, Al, it's starting to rain. We got to go.
Yeah, I do remember that. You want to finish and see what happened when it continued to rain? We were on Monument once, remember?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
It was raining, and me and Al were trying to decide, should we fly? I was like, Al, I don't think it's a good idea. And I forget what happened, but something happened in one of yours. It got wet. Which one was it?
It was that Zino, yeah. Zino 2. Yeah, it was the Zino 2. And
he came at the car and he goes, you were right. There's a problem. Oh, it wouldn't turn. It wouldn't go left or right or something.
Yeah. It wouldn't lateral flight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we're like, we got to quit.
Looks like the Zino Mini batteries are $70 too.
Oh, because the minis from Femi batteries now are what, $35, right? 34 something.
Yeah, I just freaking ordered a Pro one this morning. They got me for $60.
Oh, the Pro's out.
$59. Yeah, you can pre-order them right now. They're supposed to actually ship. I heard next week, but you know how that goes too. It might be a couple more weeks.
Are you getting that through AliExpress or directly through Hubsan?
Yeah, I got sick of waiting for free ones, so I just bought one. I got it right from AliExpress.
So from AliExpress?
Yeah,
okay.
There's 8 left if anybody wants any.
Yeah, I might just jump on it, never know.
I think they're like $54 or something like that, plus shipping, tax.
So
it looks like the standard ones are like readily available now. They haven't like gone away in a few days. They've just kind of been up there for sale for $34. Originally, I think the Pros were supposed to be $44 or $49. I can't remember, but they're definitely $10 more than they said originally.
Coast to Coast Drones made a comment on here. He found the issue with his drone that if he drinks too much, it won't go left or right.
Bill, crazy Bill.
I think that that might be a beer bong problem there. Too much beer bonging, man. All right. So we're coming to 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 7 minutes before we got to wrap it up. So we're going to have to continue these topics next week. And
Good topics.
Yeah, they really are. And so with that said, we're going to do the open mic and shameless promotions. So with that said, anybody want to start on that one?
I'll be easy on it. I don't have a whole lot to promote my YouTube channel for sure, but hoping to do some more capture video and get some stuff going. I just need some new hardware. I've complained about it too long. My laptop, I just got to find something that can handle the 4K.
Well, I never know what I'm doing until I get out there to fly. I don't really know what to say to that. I just wing it as I go.
You're out there like, oh, we got some raptors. This is a rafting video. Here we go.
I had actually planned on going to catch them. I actually did the night before, but
Yeah.
not too often do I plan anything. I just kind of like, oh, I'm going to go here and fly, and that's about it.
Don't you find that doing that sometimes you get the best videos because of the fact there's just you're not put in the box, here's a script that you got to follow.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you fly, 8, 10 batteries too, I mean, one of those flights, you're going to get something useful.
Or you can put one out of 8 batteries, you get one good video.
Kind of reminds me about the old spray and pray kind of thing. You just take a whole lot of footage and figure out what's the best and just get rid of all the other.
I was doing a comparison the other day of the Fimi Mini and the DJI Mini 2, and everything was perfect. I had them both like right on the same flight line and same height, like you know what I mean. And all of a sudden, freaking DJI updated. I never think to look at set my freaking limit back, so of course it stopped at 1,600 feet. And it just ruined the whole thing,
Oh my gosh! And
I haven't even. I was pissed. I haven't redone it again, so I got to get out and do that one again too.
Oh man, I'm sorry about it.
It's been raining for days. It seems like you get like a couple hours here and there, and that's it. It's kind of been a wet summer.
Yeah, you can't say that for Richmond, Virginia. We've gotten rain here or there, but not much in a while.
There's plenty of rain here.
We've got plenty of heat here, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robbie, how about you, man? You got anything?
We had some pretty good rain this morning, and it's supposed to rain until Thursday here, pretty heavy thunderstorms. And we need it here because it's really dry. It's really dry.
So you might want to share your location. Where are you at right now?
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, nice.
So actually, I'm going to put out probably my next video. I haven't put a video out in a couple of months because I've been working on some projects. But we had, for y'all that watch the media here in Nashville, we had a bombing several months ago where somebody had a bomb in an RV and it blew up downtown Nashville. And I had flown over that before, like 3 weeks before that happened. So what I want to do is go back down there and do another video of what it looks like now and do a comparison video to show the difference between what it looked like before and what it looked like after, because man, it really messed up downtown bad.
I bet it did. Yeah, that would be a good watch. Hey, so we have Jim's Droney.
Yeah, welcome in.
Yeah.
Hey, so I will throw another shameless plug in for Ray Kelly. And I'll probably be working with him some on this along with Matt Cundiff. But next year in South Florida, we're going to be doing it'll be the second annual South Florida Drone Meetup in Jensen Beach, Florida. It's going to be on April 2nd, 2022, next year. So make your plans and try to be down there. It was a great event this year. I know you guys weren't there, but it was amazingly a huge group of folks. Ray and I started talking about this early this year with Matt and some other folks, and it was going to be maybe 8 or 10 of us at one point, and then it just blew up, and it ended up when we had that event this past year, it was 50 plus people there, and we had a mixture of everybody, FPV, camera, drones. We had some photographers there. So it was a great event. I'm sure next year is going to be just as good, if not better.
Yeah, I think we should follow that up too and start promoting it. I think it's a great idea. I think
Absolutely.
So, with kind of dovetailing a little bit on that conversation, we should probably try to do it Mid-Atlantic meetup. I think Virginia Beach would be a good spot because that way people could also come in and do some
Yeah.
vacationing while we do the meetup.
Yeah, we just have to be careful. And I think you and I talked about this before, Al. We might have talked about it on the live stream, but we've got the naval base down there. There's a lot of no-fly zones, so we got to be very careful what we pick.
Yeah,
we can definitely look into that. That's probably a great area for folks to come during, before the weather gets too cold or too hot for that matter. Virginia Beach is a nice area.
yeah. And Ron Brown was always like, "Al, you need to do a meetup in Virginia Beach because he's vacationed there with his family and he really likes it." I think a lot of folks that from the Northeast, maybe even middle of the country, like Pittsburgh and stuff like that, would be an easy drive over.
I don't think we'll ever top the South Florida drone meetup from this year. I'm just saying. I don't know.
I've flown in Virginia Beach a couple times also, and one thing that I learned really quick about that is when you get ready to lift off of those piers, your screen gets blocked with like the geofence, and it says "ask permission to fly."
Oh.
When you're registering your drones, and you give them a phone number, make sure you give them your cell number, and I'll tell you why. When you get ready to fly and it pops that up, your phone number pops up on there and it says send. When you hit send, it sends that number over and they verify that you're licensed, and then they send back a request and the software cuts off and you'll fly. If you have a number that you can't hit send from and for it to respond, they won't let you fly. And I went through that issue. And when they send you that text, when the text comes and goes away, it's really hard to close your screens to find that number. So I always take a pencil and paper and write it. Because every time you take off, I took off once and it said you had like 5 minutes to use the code. I couldn't get the code up through the software. So I went back down and restarted it. And as soon as I did it, it popped up again. And they gave me the number. I wrote it down, put it in, and I was fine to fly.
That's really nice tip there, especially there now. Obviously, if you're flying a FEMI product, you're not going to run into that type of issue. Obviously, if you're flying the Zino products, you're not going to run into this issue. So, but I have experience myself. I was trying to fly the FEMI, and I guess I was close to one of those bases, and I think I discussed it with you, Fred. They were jamming.
They probably were shooting you right now.
Yeah, dude, they were jamming my Wi-Fi, and that thing tried to fly away. And when I took off, I left it really low because I wanted to make sure everything was happening, and it just started taking off. Like, I'm leaving, and I'm like, I jammed the stick down and ran it right up against what do they call the dunes where all the vegetation is. I literally went flying right into it, turned it sideways and then backwards, so I kind of hit butt first instead of the camera. But so
there's every kind of interference known to man coming out of that base too, probably.
Yeah, and they're jamming I think they're jamming the Wi-Fi for that type of. I'm sure they're probably scanning those channels, the 5.8 gigahertz frequencies, and they probably see poof. Here comes that little drone, jam that sucker, and then that'll prevent from flying.
We got the camp local here of I call them weirdos. I don't know. You don't see too much of them. They're just like the self-sufficient group of 100 people that live in this compound, and they're just right up on the other side of the hill. But you can't fly your drone over that. It will. It literally just goes haywire. So they got something going on there where they are jamming your GPS or something. It pretty much goes right to an FPV drone, right to right to bad mode. It's like you fly it or you lose it mode.
Right. Do you have a Wi-Fi scanner on your phone? You can say, you can scan what Wi-Fi in your area. I know I have it on my phone, so I can just kind of check it, see what kind of bubble I'm in before I take off.
Yeah.
Because it's always a problem. iQSync does a little better, but in areas like that, you're not going to be able to fly, period.
Everybody that tries to fly over that can't get over it with any drone, DJI. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just they're putting something in the air that you can't get over it.
Got it. All right, so I'm going to be doing my shameless promotion. I'm currently just working on comparison on range tests. So it's going to be Big Brother against Little Brother range tests between the FEMI product line and the DJI product line. So it's going to be the Air 2 platform versus the Air 2S platform versus, which is not a fair match at all, and the FEMI 2020, and then the two minis, the mini FEMI Mini against the. I think I'm just going to compare it to the regular Mini, not the Mini 2, because got to give FEMI a little bit of a chance. All right, so that brings us 3 minutes over.
Hey, so can I, Al? I've got a
Sure.
YouTube live stream drone show guide that Johnny has put together, and I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this.
No, go for
I'm
it.
just going to quickly share it, and just to show what we got going on tonight. Some other folks that have their own live streams. Let me go ahead and see if I can share.
Yeah,
Figure out which one we're doing here. Won't take but just a moment. I'll try to zoom in. I don't know if you can see that, Al.
I'm going to go ahead and, hey, I think Chris Hope's in the house. Hey, Chris.
Okay. Hey, Chris. Thanks for stopping by.
TX Arc drone guy is here. Add to stream. Let me add it. Here we are. So here it is, guys.
Yeah. So Johnny's put together this nicely formatted show schedule for all the YouTube channels, the drone channels. All of our friends have all kinds of shows going on during the week, and it's probably a little hard for you guys to see. But tonight, right now, the Grumpy Blogger is going. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I don't know if you can see that. Oops, I can't go too far. But the Grumpy Blogger is on right now. Old Guy in the Drone is on, which is Mitch Wise. And then Drone Nation's at 9 p.m. You want to make sure, check out these folks, support their channels, subscribe to them if you can. Definitely hit that thumbs up when you can. It helps everybody. So that's it.
Yeah, guys, hit the thumbs up. Really makes a difference with the algorithm metrics. I want to thank everybody for joining us. I mean, it's really been a good show. It definitely need to stay on these topics. Everybody wants to know about what's inside these drones. So I think it's a good idea. And then, so next week, let's talk about the replacement parts. Let's continue to talk about the Zino Mini SE and the Pro differences. And of course, the SE is going to suck the air out of the room. So we'll continue to chat about that one.
Right.
All right. With that said, let's wrap it up, guys. Thanks again. I'll see you guys in the next show.
See you. Thanks.
Take care. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Y'all have a good evening. Bye, y'all.